Earlier today, Fire Emblem Engage released its second official trailer, showcasing a lot more details about the story and its characters. This trailer breakdown both serves as, of course, an analysis, but I will also be sprinkling in my personal opinion on what is being shown on screen.
Please, I beg of you, gather together all 12 rings. When your scattered memories return to you, you must fight on with the utmost divinity.
I was already expecting a collect the MacGuffin story, and this sealed the deal. The oldest storytelling trope in media history, and one that Fire Emblem is familiar with. From the Star Shards of Arcanea and Elyos to the Sacred Stones of Magvel, collecting the plot-important items to save the world returns for FE17. You also have super plot-relevant Amnesia, which is another classic. The premise of the story is definitely nothing to write home about, and probably would give you points on a bingo card. Once Marth is finally summoned, we get an extended introduction where he tells Alear he was able to come back because he remembered him. At 57 seconds, Alear asks Marth what exactly he remembers of him from his past.
Marth, what was I like? Well, you were kind, as you are now. There's no need to remember everything at once.
I don't know if this was a deliberate line to signal that more emblems will be unlocked when Alear remembers them, given that we see Lyn and Lucina on the enemy side in this trailer, although all signs point to the villains having an Alear mechanic of their own. Then at 1 minute and 12 seconds, we see previously seen characters like Celine, while new ones like a green-haired mage, a pink girl with a big sword, and an archer with blue hair. Per the narration, they're from the Kingdom of Brodia, which has an alliance with Faerghast. I'm not really a fan of how this place is actually pronounced, in spite of their king being said to be ambitious. We're also introduced to Brodia's crown prince seconds after, whose name is apparently Diamante. These character designs slap, and I figured this would be the case. Alear and the Faerghast royals had bright, and for the latter two, flowery designs. The Brodia characters thus far have more red/dark tones in them, and they're all way better in my opinion.
Greet you as the Crown Prince of Brodia.
Solm is an open-minded country. They've always had good relations with Faerghast.
I hope you're hungry for fun, because that's what's on the menu first!
Lucky we met, huh?
At 1 minute and 28 seconds, we're shown two characters from Solm. One is the dancer-looking girl previously shown in the first trailer, while the dude was shown previously only in Engage's promotional art. A curious shot of the girl focusing on the skewered meat and her ring finger. She is the only character in this trailer with a ring on the player's side that isn't named Alear. Is it simply a coincidence, or is she in possession of one of the rings Alear must collect to fulfill his promise to his dead mom? As we see later in the trailer, other kingdoms possess rings of their own.
I take it Elusia isn't in the Alliance.
We know it's snowy there with long winters, and that some Elusians worship the Fell Dragon.
With an evil old mage Hierophant-looking guy leading the troops, and also has a few people worshipping the Fell Dragon, which sounds like a series of red flags one after the other, and definitely doesn't sound like, but literally is, Plagia on ice. At 1 minute and 47 seconds, we see Alear, Marth, Alfred, Brodia's crown prince, and an unknown companion meeting with the dark mage and his right-hand woman, along with a lance and an axe-wielding retainer battling in Brodia. The character designs for the retainers look great from a distance. Seriously, I can't think of a single retainer design or non-royal character design in this game shown thus far that I don't like. Character design is done pretty great when you're able to get an idea of what the class of a character is while seeing them still make it their own through colors, armor pieces, and the like. Photolin's character design I found did this extremely well, and I'm happy it's continuing with Picasso. But honestly, what is going on with this clown girl? This is kind of the worst thing I've seen for Engage so far.
Come a little closer. I'll give you a good long look.
I will now take your lives, your souls, and the rings.
Then at 1 minute and 54 seconds, we're introduced to the flying mage from the first trailer, and from how she introduces herself, it's clear she'll be one of the antagonists. up until she probably isn't anymore. If you wanted to do some sleuthing about the data mine from the summer, go ahead. You'll find out a bit more about her, but the last trailer had her facing the Fell Dragon alongside the other major rulers, meaning somewhere along the way, she's going to switch sides. At 2 minutes, the trailer shows the Shady Mage having an audience with the Fell Dragon in his human form. Right after, we get a quick shot of the King of Brodia being overpowered by the Dark Mage, shown later by simply grabbing his sword like nothing and with his ring glimmering.
Has another emblem ring in its possession.
Well, isn't this tragic? By virtue of your silence, we will now kill every living soul in this castle one by one.
Comparing the ring scene to the last trailer, this one paints a fuller picture of what's happening. The Elysian Hierophant guy is able to corrupt this ring, which is Lynn's actually, into fighting for him. Then there's a tonal switch into the opening song from the first trailer.
I detest violence, but I will always fight to defend the innocent.
I'm just passing through. Well, looking for someone, really.
2 minutes and 27 seconds, we're briefly shown Louis, Chloe, and some new characters. Then later we see how the dancer girl fights along with the emblem Ike, while Alfred fights with emblem Lucina, all while Alir and Marth march onwards to an unseen enemy. Emblem Radiant Dawn Ike is surprising given that the mural had Path of Radiant Ike's Brave alt from Heroes. Not to mention Lucina had a bow and wore her mask, but is now wielding her falchion in the scene instead. I am not sure what that's all about, but shoutouts to Radiant Dawn Ike for losing all of his gains. Seriously, that's kind of really lame. If anything, he should be as unreasonably huge as Boucheron, or at least the Prince of Brodia. Then at 2 minutes and 47 seconds, the screen cuts to black, and the entire tone of the trailer changes.
By your side until the end of this journey.
You silly divine dragon. Did you think emblems were just a you thing? Not by a long shot.
Marth? Marth, speak to me, please!
Everyone you care about, they are all dead.
Okay, so a few things. Number one is, I don't know where they're going with this, but if Dark Evil Alir actually has a full head of red hair, a pair of red eyes, and a uniform design in this evil form, I'm guessing that the default Alir is a deliberate mashup of normal and bad guy. Maybe to represent his scattered memories? Since Engage is taking several pages from Awakening, I suppose it's also possible that this Alir is like Grima when Grima won, and whatever or whoever is possessing him is connected to some alternate bad future. However meme-worthy this last line is, I have to admit, I want to know more. I'm also gonna guess that the various scenes of Alir and friends fighting in the main hall happens after Alir faces the Clown Girl and evil Lucina. Clown Girl mocks Alir about how they have emblems too, since in those hall scenes, Lucina is fighting with Alfred. And last, the hall, which I'm guessing is Elusia Castle, where Alir and friends confront the evil magic man, is the same one where Marth gets corrupted. So there seems like there's going to be a lot of bad stuff happening at once in this scene. The trailer ends on this tonally spooky note, which is definitely unexpected, but still pretty corny, to be brutally honest. And I do this out of the goodness of my heart. After carefully looking through this trailer, I unfortunately have more doubts about the story. I was alright with the initial story decisions, since there was at least a good precedent that Fire Emblem could make MacGuffin and Amnesia stories work. I was already expecting them to play it safe, but corrupted emblems who have completely lost all of their agency, instead of actual iconic villains, evil Alir, the unfortunate reality that there is, in fact, only 12 rings. Are Ephraim and Eliwood just not going to be in this game? This is the type of stuff I was hoping wasn't the case. I'm not saying they can't pull it off and make me hooked, but I'm definitely not sold on what they went with the plot reveals today. I'm also not a fan of them basically spoilering the fact that the evil mage lady is actually not that evil and will join you somewhere down the line. And once I play the game, it won't be a matter of if, but when, which for me certainly removes some intrigue. Character designs, barring the completely absurdly designed clown girl and her voice, are better than what has already been shown, and I'm glad to see it. The archer guy and the prince look sick. As for what's next after this, they're probably going to continue drip feeding content via Twitter, with a focus on the Brodia characters alongside possibly the Psalm duo. For emblems, I'm guessing they're going to showcase Roy, Ike, and maybe Lucina. And once that's done, perhaps they'll drop another trailer with more emblems and characters. Or alternatively, they won't, since all the characters in the big official artwork seen here have been shown now. But who knows? All I do know is I like the first trailer more than this one. There is a lot to be discussed, and I'm really curious to see what your comments are with this trailer. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you excited for Clown Girl? What are your thoughts on the evil emblems and the whatevers? What do you think of the story? Do you also think it's corny, or do you actually like where the direction is going? I've seen split decisions on Twitter about this. People are really excited with this trailer. It has validated their feelings even more. But to me, it's done a little bit of the opposite effect, which is quite disappointing for me. But all is not lost, as the game is still 2 months away. With that all being said, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Engage content like I've been doing for the past couple months, please subscribe to support the channel that way. And if you want to support me and the channel monetarily, you can check out the Patreon link down below. Thanks for watching. Deuces.
You